Hi, you must be one of the people looking for certifications, especially in HR and L&D if you're seeing this video. So welcome to this video. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nitin. I'm the CEO of Middle Earth, a graduate of IIM Calcutta and IIT Roorkee. I have about 30 odd years of experience in L&D and HR. I've been at fairly senior levels in various organizations. I've taught in 15 countries, and I'm here to just help you with one very key question. How to select the right certification in HR for yourself? Now, obviously, I'm sure you appreciate the value of certifications. According to a 2021 HR skills and salary report, 92% of HR professionals do possess at least one HR certification. The consensus amongst senior HR professionals in general seems to be the more certifications you have, the better it is for your career growth. If you are doing a certification, it gives you professional credibility. It gives you a sense of going back to the classroom, learning, and the personal satisfaction of completing a body of knowledge. There is a huge impact on salary of certifications. One of the studies showed, on an average, people with similar experience, similar academic background, people with certifications on the whole are getting 20% more salary than people without. And that 20% over a lifetime can work out to a lot of money. It helps you in job search. Today, many ads, job ads you see, do put a line, professional certifications are preferred. Even if they don't put that line, people with a professional certification have a much higher chance of getting shortlisted than people who are not. For example, if you're looking to become a HRBP and you're applying for HRBP, two people with similar academic backgrounds. One person says he's a certified HR business partner and the other person doesn't have a certification. Who do you think the company would shortlist? More likely, obviously the person with the certification. It helps you in your professional growth even within a company. In Middle Earth, for example, I've seen a lot of professional companies send their employees to us for certification to help them in their professional growth. Now, not all companies may do that, so it's good if your company sends you to a certification for professional growth. Even if it's not, it helps. Now comes a very important question that troubles many people. How to decide on which certification to do? Right? Now, obviously, when you're taking a certification, it's going to cost you time, money. How do you select the right certification? So, after being in this industry for almost 30 years, having worked with various corporations which are providing certification, I have come out with a 7-point selection checklist. So let's go through it together, you and I. And you can use this 7-point checklist to weigh any certification which comes your way. Now remember, certifications are at various price points, at various cost points, at various time requirements. You have certifications from academic institutions like IIM, XLRI, or University of Dubai, or any of these top colleges, University of Jakarta. So you have an opportunity to do a certification from an academic institute. You might have global bodies like Middle Earth, companies like American Society of Training and Development, or ATD, nowadays called ATD, Association of TD, and so many other organizations. So you have a huge set of global bodies, academic bodies. You do get courses from Udemy which are very low cost, or similar sites. You also get opportunity from local training providers, some of whom are highly reputed. So you have so much of variety. How do you decide which one to select? And remember, if you make a mistake, it can prove pretty expensive for you. So the first of our criteria to select a certification should be relevancy of the certificate. Is this certificate directly linked to your career path? Are you doing the right certifications at the right time? Now, when you look, how do you decide whether it's the right certification for you? A pretty simple way of looking at it is, look at your ideal career profile. Now, let's say you're working in a company and you're looking to grow to the next level in the company. Download the JD of the next position. Pick what all you know. Whatever you have left out and you're not confident about, that is areas you should learn. Now, typically in a JD, when there are 5, 6, 7 points and you know 3, 4 of them, the remaining points are what you should learn. I also advise you not to do very long certifications. Now, if you are going to invest 6 months and learn only one thing which is useful for you, you're wasting your time. Try to prepare or select shorter term certifications. Typically, global certifications are for, a good global certification in a specific area, let's say from ATD or World at Work or Middle Earth, typically is 30 to 40 hours of guided learning. So select certifications which have about 30 to 40 hours of guided learning. Try to avoid 6-month, 7-month programs unless you have multiple areas to learn. Simple. Next, point number 2. If you are selecting a certification, select, is it practical? Now, I see a lot of Udemy programs or other programs where they just show you a video and ask you to do a theory test, like a multiple choice question. And they give you a certificate based on a multiple choice question. There are unfortunately even a few programs done by academic institutions and even some of the global programs where there is a theory test. Personally, if you ask me, a theory-based test is not good for a practical skill-building certification. And typically, when you are working in a company, you're trying to build skills, not learn theory. So if you want to go to the next level, you need to do projects, you need to do actual hands-on work using proper tools and techniques. So please select any certification if you want to do it. Do not waste your money doing certifications which have theory tests at the end of it. Select a certification which has a practical certification there. If you come to Middle Earth, for example, all our certifications are based on project work, and every week that you learn something, you're expected to do a project. So by the end of a typical program, you end up doing 4 to 6 projects, which practically get you a strong understanding. Many people who attend my program tell me, Nitin, whatever I learned from you, I learned double that doing the project. And only when I did the practical project did I really understand what I was doing. This is my first advice. Select certifications which have project-based evaluation. Second, look at the faculty who's doing the program. Try to avoid faculty who are just academic professors or people who haven't worked in the corporate. Try to select faculty who have worked in the corporate at senior levels. In Middle Earth, for example, take from somebody like me. I have good academic qualifications and IIM and IIT, but I've also spent 30 years in the industry. If I teach you instructional design, I have spent 30 years learning instructional design, doing instructional design, winning global instructional design awards, doing tens of projects involved in instructional design. So when I teach you something I learned the hard way. Please do not learn from theoreticians. That learning won't be good. Third, unfortunately, I see a few companies which set a recertification goal. Now, a recertification goal by itself is not bad, but unfortunately, in many of these companies, when you get their certificate, it says certificate is valid from year 1 to year 2, let's say. And then every second year, you might have to do a re-examination where you again have to pay the money, or you have to attend certain extra classes, again you pay money, and it becomes a pretty tedious to keep doing it year on year. Now, and you also end up spending sometimes double the amount that you have spent on the program just doing recertifications again and again. And many people I know who have taken up the certification after 4-5 years give up on the job of doing the recertification. So personally, if I was adding a certification to my resume, I would like to look at certifications which have a lifetime validity. And that's what I would like to look at. For example, when I did my MBA from IIM Calcutta, I did not get a certificate which says I'm an MBA for 2 years. It said I'm an MBA. So try to select certifications which don't have onerous recertification requirements. It may end up being very expensive for you, and after a few years the certification may lapse. The effort you have spent may be wasted. The money you have spent may be wasted. Next very important criteria, and for example, before I go to the next point, let me also say Middle-earth's programs are lifetime validated. All our certifications are lifetime valid. So that's an advantage. Next question which I often get asked is, and which I think you should also check is it validated by the industry? Are these programs that corporates send their employees to? And is it approved globally? Now, if I take Middle-earth's programs as an example, we have a 25-year history and more than 5,000 companies have sent their people to our program, and the feedback which we have got from the companies is that it was useful and they have sent people again and again and again. Is it approved globally? Of course, Middle-earth's programs are running in 60 countries. We are an approved provider by HRCI and various other bodies which give us a certain level of global recognition. Now today, one thing which I find in many of the certifications is they don't teach the technology along with that. For example, let's say you are learning, I'll take a simple example, you're learning to be a HR generalist. They should teach you the HRMS software with that. If you're learning to be an instructional designer, you should learn tools like Articulate. If you're learning to be a recruiter, you should learn ATS software. Many companies, unfortunately, and many of the certifications do not give you access to the associated software. If you do a Middle-earth certification, for every program that you do, we do give you a free technology program, which is really, really helpful to learn the associated technology with what you are doing. For example, if I'm learning instructional designing, I would definitely also like to use and learn an authoring software like Articulate, where I can do storyboarding and so many other things. Or if I'm doing an analytics program, I would definitely like to learn something like Tableau. Please search for programs today which also give you hands-on experience on the associated software. I personally don't think in today's time and age, you will learn to be able to do these things properly if you don't know the associated software. I'll give you a practical example. Like few years back, we used to interview people from MBA colleges. Now, some of the MBA college people came in, they were good at Excel, they were good at all the software they required to use in the company. There were some MBA students who came in who did not even know what is Excel or did not have access to using simple Word documentation. Many companies would reject them just based on that fact that they don't know the technology. Please do not put yourself in a similar environment. Learn a certification which also teaches the technology. Middle Earth, we have for every certification a technology course attached. Second, I also request you to get access to best practices. While you learn a tool, while you learn a technology, it's good, but you should also learn the best practices. Middle Earth, for every program you do, gives a free latest trend certification, which gives you a quick understanding of some of the latest trends. So I believe a course which you learn should give you a technology support and should give you the latest trends. These are extremely helpful topics. Middle Earth, all our programs give you free certification in this. I'm not only trying to talk about Middle Earth programs, but I'm trying to give you a checklist that if you're looking for a certification, try to get a certification which also teaches you the software as well as teaches you the latest trends. The sixth and very important point is, what happens after the certification? Some of the very good international bodies and Middle Earth do not end your support after the certification. For example, in Middle Earth, you have 1 year of live faculty support. Many of my participants have found it very useful. For example, let's say you have done a certification in compensation. After that, you are working in a company and they say, okay, now you have to do a salary benchmarking exercise. Now, when you start doing the salary benchmarking, suddenly you get a few doubts. Are you doing this correctly? Is there something right? Who do you go and talk to? If you're certified with Middle Earth for 1 year, anytime, every weekend, you have a live doubt clarification session. You just join the link, talk to the faculty, clarify your doubts and leave. This 1 year of support, which I call applied learning support, is when you apply your learning and you get some doubts. This is a very useful learning. Besides that, we have a boot camp. Every week, you get a micro learning, which kind of adds a little bit of extra knowledge. But when you keep having that for 1 year, your ability to understand the subject really goes up. So this 1 year of bootcamp support, which is a continuous micro learning support with a weekly learning bite, also adds a lot to your learning. So my suggestion is, look for companies which have a portal or some kind of learning support after the program also. And some of the good international programs do have it. Middle Earth, of course, I've told you, has 1 year of applied learning and a continuous bootcamp. Finally, this is of course a very controversial point, job support. Now, let me be honest, I don't know of a single company which does part-time programs and provides job support. Even if you go to the top academic institute like IIM Calcutta or something and do a part-time program for 6 months or 1 year with any of these institutes, they don't normally give you for part-time programs any kind of job support. But I do believe that companies or training institutes should give some kind of job support. For example, in Middle Earth, you get resume writing classes, you get access to some very good faculty who will guide you on how to take an interview. Even if you are a senior person, this guidance is valuable. Along with that, we do have a lot of alumni and a lot of people who send us requirements, which we put onto a career portal. It's like an app, and you can just download the jobs. So having some support like that is very useful for somebody's career. So guys, these are the 7 points. If you just want to remember all 7 points, let me take you through very quickly once again. 1, is it the right program? Is it on the JD that you're looking to become? Second, is it practical? Is it project oriented? Do you do lots of hands-on work? Is the faculty somebody who's been there and done that? Ideally, you should look at a program which doesn't have continuous recertification needs. Look for programs which are industry validated and approved. Try to look for programs which only doesn't teach you the theory but also gives you the software and best industry trends as additional learning. Try to look for programs which support you even after the program with continual learning, coaching, etc. And try to look for a program which gives you some kind of career support. So guys, those are the 7 points. I leave you here. Make the best decision. Look for these 7 areas. I feel they are very critical areas for you to make the right decision. Thank you.